From the station that's working for you, this is Fox 4 News at 10 p.m.
As a community, we very much want to make sure that anyone who would pose a threat to public safety would be removed. But that's not what's happening.
So were they human trafficking victims or undocumented workers without criminal records? There's some debate tonight as the nation's largest Latino civil rights organization brings its conference to Kansas City.
Immigration was already set to be a big topic, and it's taken on new significance after restaurant raids this week, one in the hometown of Unidos U.S. president. Fox 4's Dave DeMarco live at one of the El Toro Loco restaurants that was raided in KCK. Dave?
And we're told a dozen workers at these two restaurants were detained. At least 3 have been since released.
Homeland Security says ICE was carrying out a criminal federal search warrant to rescue victims of human trafficking when it raided El Toro Loco restaurants when they opened Wednesday in Lenexa, Kansas City, Kansas. Unidos U.S. President Janet Murguia grew up in KCK. Now she's in Washington, D.C., fighting for immigration reform under new policies by the Trump administration.
And the vast majority of the statistics that we've garnered so far show that less than 10% of the folks who have been picked up by ICE have any criminal record. So the facts just don't support what they're saying that they're using as an excuse to go into these businesses, small businesses, and create these raids and disruption.
Immigration on the agenda as 1,500 Latino leaders, advocates, and allies arrive in Kansas City this weekend ahead of next week's Unidos U.S. annual conference.
We talk a lot about a focus on economic empowerment for the community, but obviously the disruption and chaos and cruelty we're seeing by these mass deportation enforcement actions, which are so extreme, will also be a focus for us.
Murguia says she's worried about due process for workers who are not being told what they're charged with and families struggling to find out where their loved ones are taken. During next week's conference, they'll also discuss best practices for witnesses to avoid facing scrutiny for filming arrests.
So we want to give important information for what average citizens can do when we see these raids that are happening with extreme aggressive tactics.
And while Unidos U.S. is calling out cruelty tonight, so is Homeland Security, Bria, who say they have seen a more than 800% increase in physical and verbal assaults on ICE agents.